Today, we're going to quietly explore a piece of technology that's, well, it's fundamental. It's what makes the web feel alive and personal.
You know, just think about it for a second. When you search for flights and you get a list that perfectly matches your dates, or when a site welcomes you back and uses your name, how does that actually happen? It's not magic, right? There's a sort of conversation going on, just behind the scenes. See, a static page is kind of like a printed menu at a restaurant. Everybody who walks in gets the exact same one. But a dynamic page, that's like having the chef come out to your table and create a dish based on exactly what you asked for. And that's the kind of page we're interested in today. So how does a server, which is really just a computer, create something custom-made for potentially millions of different people?
A web server is fantastic at its main job, finding and sending files. But it's not a programmer, you know? It can't think. So it needs to hand off a request to something that can handle logic, process data, and generate a brand new response.
And that something, that little helper we're talking about, especially in the world of Java, is called a servlet.
Okay, so there's the official definition. It's a Java program, and its whole purpose in life is to live on a server and handle web traffic. It basically extends what the server can do all on its own.
Think of it like a specialist who's always on call. When a certain type of request comes in, the web server knows exactly who to pass it to.
And here we go, we can actually see what one looks like. Now don't worry, we're not going to get lost in the code here. Just notice it's a Java class, and its job is to get a request and then write out a simple HTML response. The whole point is just to see that this abstract idea is a real, tangible thing.
To make this even clearer, let's use an analogy that I think we can all relate to: ordering food at a restaurant.
So picture this. You on your web browser. You're the customer. You make a request. You place an order. The web server acts like the host at the front of the restaurant. It greets you and takes your order. But the host doesn't cook. The host passes that order to the specialist in the back, the chef. And that chef, that's our servlet. And this slide just illustrates that flow perfectly. Your web browser, the customer, places an order. The web server, our host, takes it and passes the details to our chef, the servlet. Now, the chef might need to grab some ingredients from the pantry, which is kind of like the database, before preparing your custom meal and sending it right back out.
So why this whole approach? Why not just have the server figure it out? Well, it all comes down to one really important word: efficiency. And that's pretty much how older technologies used to work. For every single request that came in, the server had to start up a brand new process from scratch. It's just like the slide says. Imagine hiring a brand new chef for every single order. I mean, it worked, but wow, was it inefficient?
And the difference is just huge. On the left, you've got the old way, hiring and firing a chef for every single customer. It's exhausting. But on the right, you have the servlet way, one expert chef who is always ready to go. The servlet starts up one time and just stays running. Each new request is just a tiny, lightweight task, like another order slip for that chef who's already in the kitchen.
And this idea of being permanent and efficient is really central to how a servlet operates throughout its entire life. So here's the crucial part: its life cycle. The servlet gets created and set up just once, usually when the very first request for it comes in. Then it just sits there, ready to serve countless requests. Finally, when the application shuts down, the servlet is destroyed. Our chef arrives in the morning, works all day, and goes home when the restaurant closes. It's simple and it's super efficient.
So as we start to wrap this up, what's the one thing to really hold on to from all of this?
It's not some crazy, complex machine. At its heart, it's just a dedicated piece of code, a specialist, an assistant that helps a generic web server create those custom, dynamic experiences for every single one of us.
It solves that fundamental challenge we talked about right at the beginning. It's the technology that turns a static, one-size-fits-all web into a responsive, interactive one.
So, the next time a website greets you by name or shows you exactly what you were looking for, you can imagine that quiet conversation happening in the background. It's not just abstract theory. It's this silent, elegant process, all working to create a page just for you and make your digital world feel a little more like your own.